This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP network.
This is episode 678 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast for September 2nd, 2025. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. It is me, I am Lee, I am your host for this week, and it's just me as far as your normal hosts go. I know we don't normally mention why people aren't here. Tracy is currently in the final stretch of her dissertation for her master's, so please everyone keep your fingers crossed that it all goes well. And Chris and Michelle are either in transit or still in Orlando, having gone up for Premium Scream as far as Michelle goes, and Halloween Horror Nights for the both, but also Michelle and Chris went to the opening night media event representing UUOP, so that was pretty awesome. Thank you, Universal. But of course, I could ramble on my own for an hour, but I'm not going to because no one wants to listen to that. So, stepping in for Chris this week is Kenneth from Rush of Fear. Hey, Kenneth.
I'm happy to be the substitute bearded bald man.
It works perfectly, actually. I never even considered that. And stepping in as our Michelle this week is listener and producers club member Aime Lara.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
You're welcome. And then stepping in as my surrogate wife, is that weird to say that, is Mrs. Becky Tyler. Hey, Becky.
Hey, Lee. I'll take it.
Becky's, you will hear Becky's other half later on. I don't know how many people actually know that. But
I don't know.
Aime,
but they know now.
They will do. We'll definitely mention it. Aime, this being your first time on UUOP, people need to get to know. Actually, I'm going to give you a chance, Becky, as well, because we discussed earlier that it's been a long time since you've been on. And Kenneth, everyone knows you by now, because if you're not, he's got like 3 podcasts. Did we decide 2 or 3? 2.
2 on the network, but 3 in existence.
Yes. So everyone knows who Kenneth is at this point. But Aime, I need your current favourite Universal Orlando theme park.
Ooh, okay. My current favorite Universal Orlando theme park. Obviously I want to say Epic, but I've only been once. So, honestly, with HHN going on, I'm just going to go with the OG, Universal. Okay. Universal Studios.
Becky?
I have not been to Epic yet.
Of
going
course.
in September. Can't wait. So excited.
It is September.
It is September. September. Yes. Anyway, I think I'm going to have to go with the OG as well. I love Diagon Alley. I love being able to walk around the studios and the rides and everything there, from the classics like E.T. to the more modern ones. And I don't know, I love islands, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with studios.
Go on, Kenneth. I'm not going to leave you out.
I think my favorite is Islands of Adventure. Epic is unbelievable, but it still feels like it's a day one, and I think once it has some additions and growth and maturing under its belt, it will be the best one. But to me, Islands of Adventure is currently the best park. Okay.
Aime, your current top 3 attractions at Universal Orlando?
Oh, okay. So my top 3. Number 1 is Monsters Unchained, hands down. I thought it was unbelievable. We went to that land so many times. We could have just stayed in there all day.
Yeah.
But let's see. I think second is Hagrid's, which that used to be first, but
okay.
And then third would be, this is hard. Gosh, I want to do one of the big coasters, but I can't. Gosh, it's so hard. I'm so sorry. This is like so crazy. You're like, just make a damn decision. Hurry up. No, I'm like, okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to go with, I know this sounds weird, but the Spider-Man ride, just because we have so many good memories from like our, when we took our boys when they were little, like we did Universal instead of Disney. So we've always, that's always been my favorite.
Okay. That's not weird at all.
No.
Okay.
I love that.
Becky.
Mine, number 1 is currently Hagrid's. 2 would probably be Gringotts. And I think I got to go with Spider-Man with 3. Again, kind of with Aime. I love the memories that we've made on that one, and love the simulator. It's just so much fun every time we do it.
It's so interesting that I feel like Becky, it feels weird that like we're talking and you're not mentioning anything from Epic, but you forget, especially from my perspective, that there's still a lot of people out there who haven't been.
Yeah.
Kenneth?
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to get down there yet.
No.
So 3 weeks.
I can't wait. Kenneth?
So can't wait.
Number 1 is Spider-Man. That's number 1 in the world to me. Always has been. And then number 2, Monsters Unchained, and 3 is a really, really tough call between Velocicoaster or Stardust.
That is a tough one.
I go back and forth which one I like better. I think it's just whichever one I rode more recently.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I might just leave it at that.
Okay, that's fair. Aime, back to you. So your favorite park icon. So we're talking lighthouse, volcano, globe, or Kronos.
Oh, you know what? I have to go with the globe.
Okay.
The Kronos is a nice second because it's just so cool, but like it's, like Kenneth said earlier, it's just still kind of new. But the globe is just, I love it. Cool. I like and I know that some people think the Hollywood Globe's better because it was like more the original one, but I just like the blue. I don't know. I like the colors. I love it.
Becky?
Yeah, I got to agree. I love the globe. I love the volcano, admittedly, because I do love Volcano Bay, and it's so beautiful and so relaxing. But when I think of Universal, it's the globe. Kenneth?
It's between the lighthouse or the volcano. That's really hard.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just go with the. Dang, I don't know. Probably volcano. Actually, I think I think Krakatoa is amazing.
Okay, that was interesting. Okay, and then finally, the most important question: butterbeer, hot, frozen, or regular? Aime.
I'm the weird one here. It has to be hot.
That's not weird. That's the right answer.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Also team hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also hot.
Nice. Oh,
yes. Oh,
perfect.
I love it.
Team
4 for
hot.
4.
Love it.
Yes.
Cool. Right. Now you kind of know my guest hosts a little bit. Let's move on. Becky, will you give us our first batch of Producers Club birthdays, please?
I would be happy to. On September the 4th, we have Leanne Lessard. Happy birthday, dear.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And on September the 6th, we have Derek Dmitsra. I apologize if I get that wrong. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And we'll be back with a few more later.
UUOP is brought to you by the Producers Club. Join today and get bonus episodes, chance to be guest host, be part of our awesome Facebook community, and more. Head over to uop.supercast.com to subscribe. Shameless plug.
Moving on, of course, it is the beginning of the show, and it would not be a new show with UUOP if we didn't hand it over to Seth Kubersky.
This is Seth Kubersky from the Unofficial Guides, back with a look at all the little things new around the Universal Orlando Resort for the start of September 2025. We're going to start at Universal Studios Florida, where the big news is the rapid demolition of Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. It's only been closed a few days, and it's already being torn down. In the process, they have also torn down the facade of the Guggenheim Museum at the end of the street by the New York Public Library. Speculation is a new show building for the new attraction will be going up right there in that corner. Walking around the studios, I was thrilled to see that they finally finished construction on both the World Expo Bridge near The Simpsons and also the bathrooms outside of Diagon Alley. Construction for these made for some bad pinch points, and I was thrilled to see it finished in time for Halloween Horror Nights. Speaking of Halloween Horror Nights, I got to attend opening night with a RIP media tour and had a fantastic time. I think it's a really strong year, especially the scare zones, which have gotten a huge upgrade. A few things to note, they've installed a photo op for the Black Phone 2 over in the San Francisco area near where they have a dance club at night. And Louis Pizza in New York has been transformed into Freddy Fazbear's from Five Nights at Freddy's. Unfortunately, they really didn't do much with the decor other than a few signs on the registers and a stand-up photo op. Also, a word of warning, the signature food item there is a slice of pizza topped with spaghetti and meatballs. If you try to pick it up, it will all just slide off into a mess. And while we're on the subject of Five Nights at Freddy's, on opening night, the line for that house exceeded 180 minutes before the event even started. So if you want to see Five Nights at Freddy's, your best bet is to do Stay and Scream and get in the queue immediately at 4 p.m. when it opens. All right, let's hop over to Islands of Adventure, where there are still lots of construction walls and scrims up around the port of entry area towards the park's exit. Skull Island, Reign of Kong, is closed for a brief refurbishment until September 3rd. And in Lost Continent, the photo op and prop displays for the live-action How to Train Your Dragon have been removed. However, the heraldry shop there is still selling How to Train Your Dragon merchandise. Inside Hogsmeade, as well as at the other Wizarding Worlds of Harry Potter, I noticed that the price of pretty much all the Potter drinks, from butterbeer on down, has increased by 50 cents. And the Hogwarts Express between the parks will be closed for some brief maintenance between September 15th and 19th. Finally, credit where credit is due. I've complained previously about the cool zones at Islands of Adventure. I'm happy to say I spotted more of them around the park as well as at the other parks, and they were using more powerful cooling fans instead of just blowing warm air. And while we're at it, why don't we take a trip over to Epic Universe, where the big little news is that Ministry of Magic and Minecart Madness have both added Express Access. This has increased the price of Express Passes and also somewhat increased the standby waits for those attractions. If you're rope dropping Epic Universe, whether or not you have early entry privileges for staying at an on-site hotel, I personally recommend skipping Nintendo entirely in the morning unless the only thing you want to do is play with the power-up bands. Mario Kart becomes completely overwhelmed, and folks start lining up for Minecart Madness even though it doesn't open up until 10 a.m. Instead, I suggest you line up on the right side of Celestial Park and wait for them to walk you into the Ministry of Magic. The previous times I've done this, it had been a flat-out sprint, so it's much nicer now that they're walking folks over to the Battle of the Ministry. If you're one of the first folks in line for the Harry Potter ride and everything goes well, you can be on and off of it before the park officially opens. I had a worst case scenario with a delayed opening and was still off the ride before 11 a.m., whereas folks who get in line when the park officially opens at 10 were faced with a 3+ hour wait. Your only other real option for riding Battle of the Ministry is to wait until late in the day. Often the wait drops down to an hour or less, but fair warning, it's also a very unreliable attraction and just as often may shut down and not reopen. Whatever you do, don't wait until the last second before closing because they usually cut the queue at least an hour or more before the official park closing. If you aren't that interested in Battle at the Ministry, your other best bet for rope dropping is the Toothless Meet and Greet, since that always develops the second longest line in the park and there are no express or single rider options. I didn't have the patience to wait an hour and a half to meet Toothless, but I am very happy to say that he is back in the Untrainable Dragon show. There was a period of time where he wouldn't come out and fly, but I got to see him soar overhead. For the best seats at that show, tried to sit in the back row of the front section or the front rows of the back section. Before we leave the Isle of Berk, I've got to note that the day I was there were some dragon drone sightings. I did not see them with my own eyes, but I did see pictures, so it looks like they are continuing to test those dragon-shaped drones that they teased way back when the park was announced. Elsewhere in Epic Universe, I was also happy to see that Stardust Racers is back to dueling 2 trains on a regular basis. There was a period of time where they were only running 1 train in the mornings, and the entire pre-show at Monsters Unchained: The Frankenstein Experiment is working again, with both the Victoria Frankenstein and Monster animatronics fully working. Finally, here's a hot tip for eating an Epic Universe. The best value meal in the park is the Blue Dragon's Children's Orange Chicken Bento Box. You can order it at the bar without needing a reservation, and they will serve it to adults if you ask nicely. It's more than enough food for a grown-up and is only $13. And last but not least, if you're interested in celebrating the spooky season with a few libations, this year Universal Orlando has a Halloween Horror Nights bar crawl at its hotels. You can start out at Portofino Bay's Thirsty Fish, move on to the bar in the lobby of the Hard Rock Hotel, and finally end up at Cabana Bay Beach Resort. All three Lowe's properties are featuring Halloween-themed drinks and decor. Okay, that'll wrap it up for this time. As always, you can find me and my books at theunofficialguides.com, where you can pre-order the upcoming 2026 edition of The Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando. And until next time, I am Seth Kaburski, keeping an eye on all those little things for you.
A ton there again, as usual. Kenneth, you've been to Halloween Horror Nights this weekend. 180 minutes for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did not wait that long. I do think I waited about an hour on the first night. We immediately got into that Stay and Scream and knocked it out first because we knew that the line would get that crazy. So yeah.
Wow.
Do you think that's just an opening night thing? Because I think back to going to opening night 2 years ago, was it, when we went and it absolutely poured down and we all ducked out and then met back up and went to The Last of Us. And it was like, I think it was signed for like 45 minutes and we waited a good hour and a half for that house that night.
Yeah, no, I think that Five Nights at Freddy's will consistently be the longest line. I think that it's going to be around 2 hours always.
Jesus.
It's now that the event has started, these are all of the IPs at Halloween Horror Nights this year are things that I'm not really familiar with. I mentioned this on Rush of Fear. They really missed me with all of them. Like, I have no attachment to any of these IPs. So it was kind of hard for me to know what is the most popular thing.
Yeah.
And now that the event has started, it's very clear. Yeah. It's very clear from the waits and also from just the, merchandise that people are wearing to the park, that Five Nights at Freddy's is by far the most popular thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We were debating on doing the frequent fear pass, but I don't know if we're going to do that or not. It just depends on because we've already, how much money are you going to spend? It's like we're
all
trying to. I know, right? Well, I don't know how much information. Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I know I'm going to go in this later, but our waits weren't that long.
Of course.
Because we did Premium Scream.
Yeah.
But now October 4th, since we're not doing Express, and this is the first, we always do Express for Halloween Horror Nights, because I looked and they were $270 a ticket for October 4th. And I'm like, we're better off just doing Frequent Fear at like $240 a ticket. Because, you don't get Express with it, but whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll see. I'm sure it is. Five Nights at Freddy's was our daughter's favorite. Okay. And she loves Terrifier, and I think it was FNAF and Terrifier like kind of tied.
I can't
and
wait
she
for that.
Because she's played the games for years, like back when she was younger, like she's loves Five Nights at Freddy's, and it was a cool house. I don't want to give spoilers, but yeah, it was cool.
I'm so excited for that one. Our kids are huge FNAF fans, and they watch the walkthroughs and stuff, and I'd hear about the lore for years. So, and I'm so excited to see that house, even though I've never watched it, never played it. We did watch the movie, though. But the other cool thing to me about that house is that the Jim Henson Creature Shop is so involved with that. And I love the Muppets, and I love all the work that they do. So I'm really looking forward to that house.
Yeah, I can't wait for Horror Nights this year. I kind of did the same as you, Aime. We've got 3 nights there, and I kind of I started to see the wait times this opening weekend and panicked a little bit, and started looking at express passes for the first night with them. They're like $230, and I'm like, I can't justify spending nearly $500 on express. So like our plan this year is to actually do something we don't normally do, and that's do absolutely nothing during the day, and then go to Horror Nights and literally stay till the bitter end. And hopefully all those kids that are coming in for Five Nights at Freddy's will have off by midnight and it might come down a little bit, but we'll see.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of kids there, but I feel like Five Nights at Freddy's has been a phenomenon for so long that a lot of people who were kids when it first came up are now adults. And are also staying till the bitter end.
Those would be my kids.
We shall see. We shall see.
Scarlett, she's 20 now, so yeah.
It seems the longest lines consistently throughout the weekend were Five Nights, always the longest. Terrifier is pretty long most of the time. Jason Universe is pretty long most of the time. And El Artista, surprisingly, was like last night on Sunday, consistently like 90 minutes.
That's my favorite.
So excited for that.
That is my top good. House. It smells so good, like roses. I'm just gonna say that it's so good. Oh my god.
The reputation is out on that house, and people know that it's a showstopper, and they're waiting for it, and it deserves it. But yeah, I did not expect to see an original with a line like that. But it's one of the best.
Oh, I'm so excited now. That's been my number one house since they announced it.
Seeing as though we're going to talk a lot of Horror Nights on this show already, let's move on just ever so slightly. Kenneth, you go to the parks quite often. Are you surprised how quickly they're ripping Rip Ride Rockit down?
No, I'm not surprised by that at all.
It's crazy.
Usually, I feel like when something closes, the walls go up and the building starts coming down the next day. Like, that's pretty standard. So, it's just usually it's not a ride that you can see the track for from outside. Usually it's like, it's a while before you see the actual building start coming down, but I'm sure every ride, the day after it closes, they start taking it apart. Because we don't usually see the track.
The interesting moment is when that lift hill comes down. That's when it's really going to be like, wow, it's just about gone.
Yeah, that's when it's going to feel really real. Is not seeing that big loop and the lift hill behind the stage is going to be really strange.
But I think they had to pull it down fast because of Horror Nights, because so many of the queues go back there. They had to get that track down fast. Otherwise, they're going to have queue problems. Or am I wrong? I haven't been there to see the queues yet, so maybe I'm wrong.
So they started taking it apart at the extreme ends, and it seems like they're working towards the middle from both sides.
Interesting.
So like down by City Walk and back by the New York Library facade is like where it's tearing down. So none of the tracks that are over like the soundstage areas have started coming down yet.
Wow.
The queues for HHN are routed completely differently for the soundstage areas, other than the one that lines up in the Music Plaza itself.
Yeah.
But even then, how you get from the plaza to the soundstage after you're done waiting in the plaza is different this year than it has ever been before.
Oh, interesting.
I love how I tried to steer it away from Halloween Horror Nights and it's still crept back there.
Get right back,
yeah.
So everyone knows I like Rip Ride Rockit. The three of you, were you fans of Rip Ride Rockit? Are you sad to see it go? Or are you just like, yeah, whatever, it's time for the next thing? Or what? Aime, start with you because you're quiet.
I only rode it one time.
Once?
And, it just, the first time I rode it, it sort of just, I had kind of a neck ache or something afterward. I should have tried it a couple times, but then, like, I don't know, since it wasn't my favorite, I was like, I don't think I really cared. Like, I don't really.
Fair enough.
I mean, the only thing about it is that I think that's the coaster that in Sharknado 3 they filmed it on. And then Cabana Bay, like my daughter was so excited that we stayed at Cabana Bay because she's like, oh my God, she goes, this is where they filmed Sharknado 3. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. and we live in the area, so, but it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things.
Yeah, all the Sharknado 3 rides are gone now because the sharks
terrible.
Sharks went into Twister, Disaster, and Rip Ride Rockit. Now the only one left is the Cabana Water Slide.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Not the water slide. Don't take the water slide.
No. Becky, were you a fan?
I was initially. Rode it several times when we first started going and just kind of had a few rough rides on it where it just kind of really beat my head up and I had headaches coming off of it. So I stopped riding it for a while. But we did go down because it was my youngest daughter, who's now 15.
Oh, yes.
It was her favorite roller coaster. And if any of you have been in the Producers Club for a bit, we're good friends with Crystal King. And she had promised my daughter at her first Halloween Horror Nights that she would ride Rip Ride Rockit with her. So we actually made that happen. Thank you, Crystal. You're, again, just absolutely the best. And Crystal got to ride it for her first and only time, and my youngest daughter got to say goodbye to it, so they got to ride it together before it came down. So yeah, and that video is up on the Producers Club.
Kenneth?
Yeah, I was always a big Rocket fan. I didn't ride it a lot, but I was always a fan of it. I've ridden it since they announced it was closing. I rode it 4 times.
Nice.
Just to make sure I got my rides in. But I'm not that sad to see it go, because while I did like it, it to me is like easily the worst coaster at Universal.
Yeah.
So whatever replaces it, especially with the coasters, the last few that Universal has done, Hagrid's, Velocicoaster, Stardust, whatever they do next is going to be 100 times better than Rip Ride Rocket. So I'm happy to see whatever's next.
I was gutted because when we were over in May, I was like, I wanted to ride it, get my last ride on it, because then I'll have ridden it the opening year and the closing year. And every time we were in the parks, I was like, my head's just a little off today. I don't want to risk it. And then on the last day we were there, we were with friends. I was like, I'm just going to run over. I'm going to single rider line it, jump on, jump off, away we go. So I think it was posted at like 90 minutes. I get over there, single rider line's closed.
Oh, bummer.
So I didn't get my last ride on it. So I was
Dang.
A bit annoyed, but there you go.
Yeah. And I remember the last 4 songs I had in order too, because we did Waterloo first.
Wow.
That was on December 30th. We went to the park specifically to ride Rip Ride Rocket right before the new year. Did Waterloo. Next time I rode it, it was Welcome to the Black Parade, which was a terrible choice, even though I love that song.
Yep.
And then next time it was from the secret song list, Moving Right Along from the Muppet Movie.
Perfect.
And then my final ride was Shania. No, not Shania. Shania Twain, right? Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was my last ride.
Okay, we'll leave that song alone. Something you want to tell us, Kenneth? Anyway, right, let's move on a little bit because we have a lot to get to. It is time to pass you over to Becky's husband, and it is time for a Which Stick Gets Your Lick from Kiki.
I've been given the impossible task to keep this family friendly. So why is the segment name so rich with double entendre? We all know what you're trying to say with the segment name that you picked. I'm not even gonna go there, so which stick gets your lick?
Which stick gets your lick? Oh, hell yeah. Lick it, baby.
Get ready for cuteness overload, people.
This is Kiki Horton reporting live from Universal Studios, and we are happy to report our review of Freeze Ray Pops. I had the blueberry lemonade popsicle, and it was really good. It was a little tart, so I have to admit I could not finish the whole thing. John, what did you have?
I had the cheesecake popsicle, and it was a little out of the ordinary, and I think it's an acquired taste, but I did enjoy it. I don't think it's for everybody, but I thought it was pretty darn good.
Yeah. And Ruby had
cookies and cream. It was a little good, but it had little chocolate bites that I liked in it. There was little Oreos in there.
I loved those Oreo chunks. Good job, Ruby. And Jim?
I had coconut, and I loved it. The coconut flavor was super strong, but I love coconut, so it was great.
And Jess?
And I tried the coconut, and I thought it kind of tasted like sunscreen.
Rose, what did you have?
The blue banana minion popsicle.
The blue banana minion popsicle was it was super good.
All in all, I think we'll be going back, and it was an awesome day. We're here leaving the park now after Cinesational, and it was awesome. All right, bye.
Oh my god, Ruby is the absolute cutest.
You're so adorable. Oh my gosh.
I just wanted to like hold her and like give her a big hug.
Now, if you didn't notice, they did actually not rate their freeze pops out of 5 like they were supposed to. And I'd already messaged Kiki and went, I'm just getting round to doing your which stick gets you like, and didn't actually rate them. I was going to use it anyway because the world needs to hear Ruby, but she did actually send me their ratings. So Kiki, as she said, she had the blueberry lemonade. She gave it a 4 out of 5.
John had the cheesecake. He gave it a 3 out of 5.
And cute little Ruby had the cookies and cream, and she gave it a 5 out of 5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jim had the coconut and also gave it a, oh, hell yeah, 5 out of 5.
And Jess had the coconut, and she hated it. She said it tasted like sunscreen, so she gave it a 0.
Tracy agrees.
And Rose finished up with the blueberry banana minion at a 4 out of 5.
Interesting. It's funny. I like that two people tried the same one and it couldn't literally be any different from each other. I need to go back. Amy, will you let people know how they can also get involved, please?
Okay, well, the guys would love to hear you on the podcast. So to be part of this segment, all you have to do is head over to Freeze Ray Pops in Minion Land at Universal Studios Florida and sample as many of the popsicles as you can stomach or afford.
Once you've sampled them, record yourself rating each one on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being,
oh, hell no.
And 5 being,
oh, hell yeah.
And send those recordings to the podcast at UUOpodcast.com.
And for the most authentic review, record your thoughts while you're still in the park.
I love how Jillian's oh hell yeah no, oh hell no still get a giggle out of everyone even though they've heard it a million times. Chris laughs every time we do it. It's hilarious.
Jess gave the coconut less than a no hell no. She gave it a 0.
That's true actually. Yeah, I've just realised. 0. We don't have a 0. We said 1 to 5.
We might have to ask Jill on that one, yeah.
Would that be a hell no?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to more Halloween Horror Nights. Sorry, everyone who hates Halloween Horror Nights. As we've already alluded to, Premium Scream took place at at Universal Studios Florida last Thursday. Michelle was there. Kenneth, I'm sure you guys are going to talk about it much more on Rush of Fear at some point. But as Aime was there, we kind of wanted to hear, because I remember Michelle coming back from last year's, and I quote, she said, "It is the best night at Halloween Horror Nights I have ever had." And I said to her that night, it will never ever be like that again. Aime, was it like that again? Did you go last year?
I did not go last year, and I actually decided to go this year because of Michelle's amazing review.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So, no. I'm actually I'll go ahead and preface everything first. I'm actually happy with our decision to go. Because seeing the queue lines on videos now, and it was way better. Yeah, so I don't have anything to compare it to except for what people said, since I didn't go last year. Now, I'll say we got pass holder discount, and so by the time we decided we were going to go, it was just it was my husband, our daughter, and me. So we got 3 tickets, and with pass holder discount, it was $375 each, and so that includes, your HHN ticket, park ticket, and food. And you don't really need express because, I think and I will say the most we waited for a house, I think we might have waited 30 minutes.
Okay.
But that was not every house. We did do Stay and Scream, just because honestly, I didn't want to deal with the crowds getting in at the gate. I've never done that. I've always done Stay and Scream. Maybe I'm just like spoiled, and I don't know. I don't want to deal with it. So
no, I get it.
We did Stay and Scream. So I take that back. The longest we waited for a house was Terrifier, but it was not because Terrifier had an hour wait. It's because we chose to wait an hour before it opened to get it knocked out.
Yeah.
Because we figured that would be the longest one, is what I was assuming. And plus, I was scared to death to do it. I hate the movies. I've seen the first 2. My daughter loves horror. And I used to be scared of everything horror, but this is an annual tradition. This is our first year we went to HHN was 30. And so this would make the 5th year. Yeah. So 30, 31, 32, 30. Yeah. Math is hard. Okay. Yeah. This is our 5th year.
It doesn't make sense though, does it? Because you go, that was 30. This is 34. Surely that's 4 years, not 5. It doesn't make sense. But yes, you're right. It is 5.
I know. Because at first I was like, wait, am I?
Yep.
giving that information incorrectly. Oh no. So yeah. So, and it's kind of helped me because, even though it is scary, I feel safe at Universal, and it's actually not the scariest thing you could go to. I mean, there's way scarier events, and, and that's the thing, I think, and there's just such an appreciation for if you see the movies, and there are movies that I had never seen before, but now I watch them, and, just so I can get an appreciation for all of the sets. I mean, they do a phenomenal job with everything. Now, last year's wasn't as good. Like, not Premium Scream, but just HHN. I didn't really, it wasn't my favorite year, but you get those. It's not like it was the worst either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so we did Stay and Scream, did the Terrifier house. Then we did like 3 houses off the bat. We did FNAF. So yeah, we didn't have to wait that long. And the only thing we did not do during Premium Scream was see the show. And it wasn't because we didn't want to or the waits were too long. It's just, honestly, I mean, I'm getting old, I think, and I was just so freaking tired. Like,
I need to ask a question. Aime, how old are you? I know you're not supposed to ask, but I need to know in reference now.
So I'm 49 years old. I'll be 50 next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a very similar age at that point.
Yeah, so it's just like I was just getting tired, and like and my husband is 14 years older than me, and he's, he was like, he was tired too, but he's just like, he was fine.
He's a man and keep going until we fall over.
I know, right? Like, well, I think too, we did get poured on.
Yes, it did. So,
at first, my daughter was kind of sad because she wore her whole art costume, and like she made her own, she didn't make the corset, but she designed it. She bedazzled it with red bloody things, red rhinestones, and because she does wig design and stuff like that, and she's like super creative. Like, we do a lot of cosplay and stuff like that, and we go to different cons out here in Orlando. Well, so she was so excited to meet Art, and she goes, well, gosh, if it keeps raining, we're going to not see any scare zones, and none of the characters are going to be out, and I think that's the worst part of getting rained on. But then the rain stopped, and we got to see all the scare zones and everything, and it ended up being fine. And she saw Art twice, so I even got some videos of her playing patty cake with him, and it was awesome. It was so cute. It was just, and I have that, oh my gosh. And I tell you what, I have that Clown Cafe song stuck in my head all weekend. I've been singing it like all, welcome to the Clown Cafe. And I'm just like, I can't get it out of my head. And I'm just walking around cleaning the house, humming it. And she's like, are you singing Clown Cafe? Yep, I am. And so she's like, oh, I like that you are. I'm so happy you like Art now. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, he is very charismatic. And I can see it. I can see it. It's an abusive relationship type of thing. I don't know. That's a terrible thing to say. But it's just that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Yes. So, we got rained on. And normally when I go to the parks, I'm a weirdo. I think flip-flops for me are sandals. They're just so much more comfortable than sneakers. But I wore sneakers this time, or what you guys call trainers. And I was like, okay, it'll be fine. And now I know why.
Yep.
My feet were slushy and gross with the rain. And I'm like, this is why I wear flip-flops, because they're going to dry off. And I'm like, this is the worst thing in the world. But it was fine. I just tried to forget about it. And we just embraced the rain at this point. And we had ponchos. It was fun. Then it stopped. The food lines were long, but I think it was the specialty food lines. And I think all in all, I think we will try to do it next year, depending on the price.
Yeah.
Because if you're focused just on the specialty food, which was what we did, that's when the lines were longer. I think if we would have gone to like Mel's Dine, Simpsons, they had the food included.
Yeah.
We did do the, Louis, which we got that weird spaghetti pizza, but it was okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I think those lines were shorter. And you kind of forget that there's more included than just the food booths.
Yes.
And I think we just didn't know how to navigate it as well as we should have,
It's going to be interesting to hear, because obviously you're going from the perspective of never been before. So your expectations are what they are.
They were lower, I guess. Yeah,
So
I didn't really have anything to compare it to.
Whereas Michelle's review of it is going to be very different, having gone last year, because I've seen a lot of complaints online about, but oh my God, this is not a premium experience. But I think you kind of already said it, and Kenneth, with you being there this weekend, that compared to an average night at Horror Nights this year, that still was a premium experience, even though compared to last year, it wasn't.
Right, exactly. I have these two guys that were behind us online. It was so funny. In Terrifier and FNAF, we kind of hung out with them for the first, I don't know, half of the first couple hours we were there, I guess. They were from Chicago and they'd never been to HHN, and so they did Premium Scream. They found one of my videos and they commented, and they were like, and he goes, we actually enjoyed it. We did all the houses, we saw the show, and we tried so much food. He goes, so I think they liked it too. So I think you're right. If you have never been and weren't expecting it to be only like 3,000 people in the park, and you weren't exactly sure. I mean, it was still a lot less people. When you're walking, you're not running into so many people. We still had a great night, honestly. It was fine. We had a great night.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see Michelle's, because it's that thing of like, we know last year that it didn't sell out, and so this year with it selling out, there was a lot of conversation based around, so Universal have said it is a premium event, it will be limited capacity, pulls through the houses, blah blah blah, and it's like, you can't hide away from now what you think is a premium event, because the event is sold out, so people are going to see exactly what a limited capacity event is, because it's sold out. When normally if it's not sold out, then you have no idea. You don't know how many people are in the park or how many tickets they would have sold. But when you know that they've sold all the tickets they can sell, then you're going to find out what it is. And I don't know whether I would have paid that price and been happy with it personally.
Yeah, I think it's the food that's included, and I mean, we did not eat enough to justify it. But there have been times we have. And I think it's just that I was so excited. I wasn't as hungry as I normally am. And so we just sort of, but there's ways to do it. Like,
you've got to go in with a plan, haven't you, really?
Yeah, you kind of have to go in having a plan. I do. And here's the thing. I heard that it was $7,500, but then I also heard a rumor that they were selling them at the door. I don't know how true that is. I think they would need to cap it at how it was last week for this year, and if they sell any more than that, then it may not be worth it.
That seems quite a lot. Kenneth obviously is someone that goes to the parks all the time, and Becky's someone who doesn't. Is Premium Scream something you would do?
I don't think I would. As a local and like a frequent fear person, to me, I don't feel the need to pay the premium to have that special access, because I know I'm just going to have regular access for the whole event. I think if I didn't live in Orlando and the parks were, a more rare experience for me, I do think it sounds like a good value. Like, I wish that it would made sense for me to go to it, but I just don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think from our end, we usually come down for at least 3 or 4 nights. So we're coming down on a Rush of Fear pass. We actually got Rush of Fear with Express this year, just because most of our friends had it. And
I know, that's crazy.
So
I take it back. Becky's not replacing Tracy on this one. She's replacing Michelle, the 1%.
No, trust me, no.
Yes.
No, because our pass is only good for September. But I'm going to be down twice for HHN. So it really made a lot of sense.
You're not doing yourself any favors right now.
Sorry. But we talked about it, and I don't know if we would come down for Premium Scream, because again, with wait times of 30 to 45 minutes for a house, I mean, when we go on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, we can be waiting that long for a house anyway. And to be able to go multiple nights with an express pass for, not a ton more than you're already getting for that one night, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And for those who don't know, I'm gluten-free. And so I can't even eat a majority of the food that would be included with it anyway. So that just, for me, knocks it down even further as far as the value of it goes.
For us, it's kind of a similar situation to what Aime put up with. It's like we came out for opening night 2 years ago, and as it does every year, the obligatory downpour, and it was horrendous, quite honestly. I don't think I've ever been as wet outside of a swimming pool as I was that night. And it's that thing of paying that much money and then potentially having that experience as well on top of it is going to spoil the night. So I don't know whether... Like I've said this before, I thought it would be interesting if they started doing these rather than just a one-off before the event, sort of dot a few Monday nights around the event during the event, like a random Monday in September and a random Monday in October. They'd be more likely to do it with then, because you can't guarantee the weather, obviously, but I think you would have more chance of getting decent weather, because like we've watched a few vlogs from Premium Scream this weekend, and it's Horror Nights when it rains is miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of ruins unless you're prepared for it, which, let's be honest, most people aren't. We've been before, and I got soaked, and I trudged around till 2 a.m. with soaking wet trainers. Like Aime said, it's not fun.
No, it's not. That happened to us our very first HHN as well. We're waiting in the New York queues for Stranger Things, and the sky just opened up. And like you said, Lee, I don't think we've ever been wetter outside of a swimming pool. And just that way the rest of the night, and our shoes were still soaked for the next 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, that opening night we were there 2 years ago, we ducked out and went, fuck this, we're going back to the hotel and getting changed at the same time that Michelle, Kenneth, Maddie and Lindsay all ducked out. So we all walked back through the park. Tracy had her Crocs on, so she was having a whale of a time splashing through the puddles. But we went back to the hotel, we showered, got a pizza, hung out till it stopped, and then went back in the parks. But it's like, when you've only got a limited amount of time, like on a Premium Scream night, there's no way I would duck out and go back to the hotel.
No, that almost seems like a waste of money to me. I mean, and that's not to be rude or anything about it. It just, you're paying, like you said, so much for that time. You're want to spend that time in the park, in the queue, in the houses, and getting the food. That to have to go back to the hotel is really not ideal. So
you're having to either grin and bear it and kind of be wet and miserable, or waste a bit of time. Did you stay till? I'm assuming you didn't stay till the bitter end, Aime.
No, we were planning on it because we did a staycation and stayed at Cabana Bay for a couple nights just so we wouldn't have to worry about driving back. But we didn't even drink that much either. That's the thing. Like, we were like, oh, we won't have to worry about driving home, and we'll just, do whatever. And I was so spent. I think we left at 12:30. So we left. I mean, I don't know. I was like, what is going on? But then we did get there at like 4, first day in Scream. So
if Tracy tells me at 12:30 she's going back to the hotel, I'll go, I'll see you in a couple of hours, because I am not leaving until at least 2 a.m. Cool, right. Yes, I'm very interested to see what Michelle thinks of it. But as I say, online over the weekend, the reviews have not been very nice, to say the least, to be honest.
But do you think that's just because people are complaining about everything, though? I mean, if you get on there, they're like, they're complaining about the regular days too, and it's like, what do you expect? You're gonna wait. I don't know. It's just what it is.
I think a lot of the complaints were coming from people who were there last time, though, because I know a number of people that were there last time that were very disappointed in the less than premium experience of this year.
Yes, Mr. Albers has been very vocal on his complaints about this year, but he went last year as well, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, thank you for that, Aime. I much appreciate your review, and interesting, like I say, getting a perspective of someone who didn't go last year, because I think that will taint your overall view of the event for definite.
I think, like you said earlier, I think it's just kind of how your mindset is too.
Agreed.
I think because, we were super excited for the weekend because, took a couple days off work. So I was like, all right, this is going to be great. And I think when you're just really excited for something, it can, I guess it can have the opposite effect too, either your expectations. But if you don't really I didn't really know what to expect. I was hoping it was supposed to be less people, like they said, but I don't know. It was like I said, I think you just kind of have to have a plan of attack, but I don't know, maybe we'll do what Becky did and do it next year, because that sounds like she probably spent about the same amount, and then she's getting the frequent fear pass and stuff, so that's probably that might be smarter.
It's a time thing, isn't it? Because some people don't have the time to be able to buy those multi-day tickets and go multiple times. So if you've only got like a one, say you can only get down for 1 weekend, then Premium Scream is the way to go. Because I would actually say, we haven't done Premium Scream, but RIP, we've always done an RIP tour, and this is the first year in the last sort of 4 or 5 years that we've done Halloween Horror Nights that we are not doing an RIP tour, because the last time we did it, it was reaching that price point of, I really don't know whether it's worth that price cost anymore. Michelle actually priced it up for the Sunday that we're all going to be together, and it was like $5,500, I think, or 5,800 or something for 10 of us, and it's like it's like $580 is expensive. And you think about Premium Scream at $400 and whatever it was, you got $375, but I think at one point it was $450. You're getting all your food, that and all of that rammed in. But with an RIP to it, it doesn't include your admission in. You get food, but it's not everything. It's a very limited amount of food. Yeah, you get backdoored into everything, but there's so many. Chris has said it before. There's so many RIP tours going now that it's not the benefit that it used to be. And then it's like, for someone like me, it's $580. Plus Tracy as well, so it's nearly it's over $1,100 for the pair of us, plus our tickets on top. It's so expensive. I think I would do Premium Scream over an RIP tour at this point, a private one, obviously.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. Yeah. We've done one RIP, and I think it depends on your RIP group too, because like for that price, if you're only getting through 10 or 12 houses, that's a lot of money for just getting through the houses once. Our group, we did 21 houses that night.
Jesus, we've never done that many. Wow. I need to be part of that.
We walked our feet off.
I think I've done that too. An RIP where I think we just did each house twice in a row each time we did one.
Yeah.
And then we did the whole park, and then we were like, okay, well, there's still time left. Let's go back and hit the favorites. So we ended up doing, well over 20 walks.
Wow.
Nice. That's awesome.
Right.
I would do that for an RIP if I'm with a group that I know we're just going to slam the houses again and again. Then it gets to be worth it because you get so many run-throughs. But
I think that's my problem, is my group are all drinkers, so it's like stopping for drinks every 5 minutes. It's like Chris.
We got our drinks in.
Chris can't walk past a bar without a drink. You heard his story of going into Epic for the first time. That Alexa's like herring off to Super Nintendo World and turns around and Chris is behind her trying to get a drink. She's like,
Was it the Tiki bar?
I have no idea. It was a bar. He just passes a bar. Chris doesn't care what bar it is. As long as it's got alcohol, Chris is there.
I know he loves tiki bars. I keep trying to get him to come up to the one in Chicago, but he hasn't been able to come up yet.
Anyway, moving on. I wish to go to Walt Disney World.
When you wish upon a star.
The Gryffindors creak and the tombstones quake.
Tombstone towers swing and wake.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Where can our vacation wizards take you? Just tap the port key at portkeyvacations.com and let the magic begin.
Continuing in the same vein, Kenneth, I know you talked about it much more in depth on Rush of Fear and also on Big Dumb Stuff, but I want to get a little UUOP review. You went over to Las Vegas just after opening for Horrors Unleashed. We've watched a few vlogs. It looks pretty cool. I kind of like. We've never been to Vegas. It's not somewhere that I would make a journey for this specifically. But how was it? Because I don't think I've actually heard your review of it yet.
I don't think neither of those episodes of Rush of Fear or Big Dumb Stuff are out yet. So this will be the first podcast where I'm talking about it. So consider this a preview of the other two episodes. Yeah. I like it. I like it, but it's a lot of like caveats of like, provided this, then it's good, and like So
which ticket did you get, Kenneth?
We got the unlimited access.
Okay, was that $99 plus tax?
That's the starting at.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think we ended up paying like $140.
Okay, wow.
For for the day at Horror Unleashed. So I think the number one thing to know going into Horror Unleashed is when they announced Horror Unleashed and Universal Kids Resort, they changed the name of Universal Parks and Resorts to Universal Destinations and Experiences.
Yes.
And, Universal Orlando Resort, Universal Studios Hollywood, those are destinations. Horror Unleashed is an experience. I would not base a trip around it, even though I did. But I wouldn't, and I would. Halloween Horror Nights is your entire night. That's what you're doing that day. And Horror Unleashed is not meant to be the thing you do that day. It's like any other Vegas attraction where you can fill your day with 2 or 3 different things that you're doing that day in Las Vegas.
It's like if Halloween Horror Nights didn't exist in Orlando, it's the kind of thing you would see on iDrive with a bit more, you know what I mean? Not a cheap version, but that kind of thing.
Yes, that's a good way. So while we were there, at a certain point, I had the thought, we had kind of finished the 4 houses. We had gotten a sense of the building and what there is to see and do in there. And I was like, oh, this is so much smaller than Halloween Horror Nights. And of course it is. Yeah. You look at it and you're like, it's 4 haunted houses and 1 show and a couple bars and food options. But you hear that and you're like, yeah, it's less. But then you're there and you're doing it and you're like, oh yeah, it's less. Huh. So I would definitely say if you are, especially if you are in Orlando, Halloween Horror Nights is your main haunt, that Horror Unleashed is of dubious value to you, I think, because they have the 4 houses there are Universal Monsters, Scarecrow the Reaping, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Exorcist Believer. And all 4 of those houses are essentially the Orlando versions of those houses.
Do they feel different? Because I wondered, obviously, the Orlando houses are temporary structures that go up for 2 months a year and then come down. Did they feel different with these being permanent haunted houses?
Yes. They definitely feel more permanent. I was walking through Exorcist Believer, touching the walls and being like, whoa, these feel like real walls. They don't feel like plywood. This is cool, And there are things about it that yes, because it's more permanent, they're able to put more technology into it and more, care and it feels like there's more money was spent. You can feel it in it. But then also, for me, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I felt like it felt a little bit too good. That should feel grimy and gross. And I was like, it feels clean in here. I don't like that,
Okay.
But yeah, they pulse your groups through the line. Each house has a themed queue, which is really cool. That's honestly one of the most impressive things to me was the themed queues for each house are very cool. I think the capacity is managed to be pretty low because they do pulse the groups and the lines were never very long. And around 8 p.m., it was pretty packed in there. And the lines for the houses were still not very long. So I think they managed the capacity pretty well. Or maybe it just, wasn't sold out. I don't know. And it could have been more crowded. But one of the coolest things. So yes, these are the Orlando versions of the houses. It was the Universal Monsters house from 2019. Basically is exactly the same.
Okay.
Exorcist Believer, exactly the same. Just feels a little bit more permanent, more technology. Certain effects are changed. Certain characters are added to better reflect the movie. But it's the same house, essentially. But what they do that's so cool is because your group is pulsed and it's just your group going through, at a certain point in each house, there is a moment where they will close the door in front of you. You cannot leave the room. They will tell you to stop. And then a show moment will play out in the room.
That's cool.
It's really cool. The Scarecrow the Reaping one, we only got 2 of them because the staffing wasn't there for the other 2. So we only saw the show stop for Scarecrow and Exorcist. The Scarecrow show moment was the first one we saw. It was the 3rd house we did. So we didn't know that this was possible. So it really caught us up by surprise. And what they did, I don't know if I want to spoil here.
Yeah,
I think I do talk about it on the other shows, but here I won't say what they do, but it really literally blew us away.
Awesome.
Yeah, they do some really cool stuff. So I think the houses are the highlight of this thing. Just know, if you are familiar with the Orlando versions of these haunted houses, they are the same for the most part. So take that as you will. Like, I know people have said they were disappointed to see that it's the same house. To me, I'm like, hey, I know that if I ever want to go back and see that 2019 Universal Monsters house, I can go to Las Vegas and see it there. Yeah. That's good. That's good to me.
Yes.
The show was underwhelming.
I agree. I watched it on YouTube. It was kind of eh.
It is the most scaled down Jack show that has ever existed. And I saw the 2007 and 2015 Carnival of Carnage shows, and they were both much bigger, much more elaborate. And I was expecting more from this being in a permanent venue. I thought that they would have done something even bigger scale than those, and it's so much smaller. So that was a big disappointment to me. Probably the most disappointing thing of the entire experience was that Jack show. Okay. And it's awesome seeing Jack and Chance there. I was happy to see them, and I took pictures with them and everything. But the show really left me like, oh, that's all they did? Like, this should have been more.
How was the food and drink?
Very good.
Okay.
We did not try any food from Rough Cuts, which is like the quick service, like HHN food booth. But we did eat in the Premier House, which is the full service restaurant that is themed to Blumhouse. The theming of the restaurant is very boring. It is just a big open empty room with a couple like photo backdrops for Megan, the Black Phone, and The Purge.
Of course.
So far, Megan is the only character that actually does come out and like interact with people in the restaurant. She comes out, she dances, a line forms for pictures with her, and then she leaves. And then we were like, ooh, is the grabber coming? And they were like, so far, Megan's the only character. We've heard that they're working on getting more, but right now that's all there is. We were like, oh, okay, that's a little disappointing, but it'll get there, hopefully. But the food was so good. Like,
good.
Epic Universe level food. Which, I mean, I guess it's comparing more to what else is in Vegas, which we did not have a lot of elevated food experiences while we were there. We were going more gimmicky stuff. But man, we were really impressed. I got the brisket sliders. They were so good. We got the Creature from the Black Lagoon bites, which were like shumai little dumplings that were like the best food thing we ate probably the entire trip. It was so good. So yeah, there's a lot of pros, and there's a few things that I think can be improved and probably will be improved. I really hope there's room in the building to add a permanent like theater and like stage for a bigger scale show, but I don't know if there is room for that. I will say the space feels a lot smaller than what it looks like it will be from the outside. Like the open, they've been advertising like 4 distinct themed areas, and I think that's way overselling the areas. We got to the 3rd themed area before I realized that we were not in the first one anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess the light is a different color, but other than that, it doesn't really feel like there's a distinct border or difference between this and that.
Okay.
But there were characters walking around, roaming around, trying to scare people. It was really cool. Characters that you can talk to that I definitely encourage talking to, because all of the storylines of what the building is are discovered through talking to these characters. We met a character who is part of the Legendary Truth, and we got really deep into the weeds with him about all the Legendary Truth lore and Boris Schuster and his daughter, which we didn't know existed, but he told us about, and like all this crazy stuff. It feels to me like it's meant for a broader audience that is not the Orlando audience.
Yes.
Like this is meant to be a taste of what Halloween Horror Nights is for people who are not familiar with it.
Not for Horror Nights fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
sense.
I think the only thing that kind of contradicts that is the fact that when Jack shows up on stage, he says Jack is back, to which most people will say, who are you?
Yeah. Back from
what
where?
Do you mean?
Aime, Becky, is it somewhere that you would visit? Is it that you would make a pilgrimage to, or would you check it out if you happened to be in Vegas?
Yeah, I would definitely check it out. My husband grew up in Vegas. We haven't been in years, but we were thinking about, our middle son lives in San Diego, and we were like, maybe if we visit him in San Diego, we could maybe pop over to Vegas. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive or something, and I wouldn't mind doing it. I don't know if I'd plan a whole Vegas vacation, like Kenneth was saying, like he doesn't know if he'd do it again, but yeah, I'd definitely check it out if I was there.
Yeah, if we were there, I'm sure we would check it out. We're not really Vegas people per se, so I have little to no interest in going to Vegas. No offense to anybody who loves Vegas. Just not my jam. But I think if we're there, or if I happen to be there for a conference or something, yeah, absolutely, I'd check it out.
It's going to be interesting to see how it goes, especially with them announcing the one in Chicago before this even opened. But yeah, I love the idea of it, and I love of putting pop-ups everywhere. Why not? Why wouldn't you? It's not that us Horror Nights fans want more people at Halloween Horror Nights, but from a marketing perspective of Universal trying to get the word out even more about Halloween Horror Nights, it's the perfect marketing tool. I don't want more people there.
I don't want more people there either, but I think I never got to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I've heard that is a phenomenal house. So for me, getting the chance to see that is enticement to go as an HHN fan.
That's like me with Scarecrow the Reaping was the one house that I really devastated I never got to see. So the opportunity to go and see a house because that's the thing with Horror Nights, they're in and they're gone, and for the most part you will never see them again. So having that opportunity is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scarecrow is one. Scarecrow and Texas actually are the two houses where I noticed some differences between the original versions. Texas Chainsaw Massacre felt like it was a combination of the best moments from both 2016 and 2021. And then Scarecrow the Reaping, I don't know what the Hollywood version of that house was, so I can't say whether they pulled inspiration or designs from the Hollywood version, but there were definitely some differences from the Orlando version. I still think it was the best house in the building. And
that seems like a really weird statement, by the way. It's the best house in the building.
It is. We were looking at that building from outside wow, it's so huge. And then we got in there, we're like, oh, this is it. It's so small. Why aren't we using the rest of this? But then I remember there's got to be backstage dressing rooms, costuming, offices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure they have a health services in the building, all this stuff. I was a character. So I, know everything that goes into the backstage and running of these things. So that all has to be in the building too. So I was like, okay, I guess, that's
on the food service areas too.
Yeah, exactly. The kitchens, there's so much stuff that we don't get to see that's part of the building. So I'm like, all right, I guess I see that, but it still feels like this building is way bigger than even what that would require. So I hope there's room to add to it. I hope there's room to grow it, and I know that things will evolve over time. But yeah, if you're in Vegas, check it out. I think it's worth seeing. The tickets, we spent from 3 o'clock to 10 p.m. in there, and I don't know that I would necessarily recommend that either.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, we had the unlimited access, so we did each house 2 or 3 times.
Why wouldn't you?
I think if I only got to do each house once, I would have felt a little bit ripped off.
Yeah.
We really got our money's worth as far as time spent in there and seeing the houses. So I think it varies how much mileage this gets for each person. Us being the diehard Horror Nights fans that we were who went, I think it was worthwhile. And we saw a lot of other stuff in Vegas that I had been wanting to see for a long time. So the trip felt worthwhile overall. Yes. But yeah, this is not a replacement for Halloween Horror Nights, and it is not equal to Halloween Horror Nights. It is definitely a smaller experience that is part of a trip that includes many other things.
Okie dokie. Cool.
Do we know if they're going to replace some of add different houses every couple of years or change it out? Have they said that yet?
Bearing in mind it's just opened, I don't think they're going to announce that anytime soon.
Yeah, they haven't. They don't look like they're meant to be replaced personally.
Okay.
I'm hoping there's a space for a 5th house to go, and there was this weird hallway that led to something that was being guarded, as if the Queen's jewels were back there. And I was like, what is back there? What are they guarding? Why are there 6 security people standing in front of these doors? And it probably did
just lead to suspense.
Yeah, it probably did just lead to backstage. But I'm wondering if a house could eventually go there, or somewhere in that area, back by the Jack's Alley Bar and the Premier House restaurant.
That'd be kind of smart, actually, because then you could keep 4 houses open at any one time and just rotate out one as you needed.
Yeah.
Some of the servers also, we spent a long time in the restaurant and talked a lot to our server and the lady who was clearing our plates and stuff. We talked to them for 20 minutes each, and they were saying that from their understanding, there is an outdoor space that can have pop-up houses go.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Like kind of like the sprung tents, you know, like they can put up a tent and put a house out there, like Hollywood style.
That's cool.
So they were like, yeah, like from what we understand, like that they can do like seasonal ones, or if they want to do like a Christmas house during that time of year. So like it seems like there is room around it built in. And I guess we'll just wait and see. But like, I don't anticipate that this is something I'm going to be like making return visits to.
Okay.
I will go see every new location that opens.
Yeah.
And like, I've been wanting to go to Chicago for a long time. And so now I'm just going to wait until Horror Unleashed opens. And I'm excited to see what houses they include there.
Give us a call when you come up.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I will also, I mean, after walking through Five Nights at Freddy's, I was like, if this doesn't end up in Chicago, like these puppets are so expensive and like good. There's no way they use this just for this and then they disappear forever. Like they have to end up in a permanent installation somewhere. And these Horror Unleashed are the perfect thing for that.
I haven't even seen the house yet. I want that to happen so bad.
I would be surprised if they made these incredible puppets and then they never use them again.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate that. Again, go and listen to Rush of Fear when that comes out. Go and listen to Big Dumb Stuff for different takes on a much more in-depth review of this. But it sounds cool. I definitely want to check it out. But we still have a bit to get to. So, Amy, can you do our last group of Producers Club birthdays, please?
Oh, sure. All right. So coming up on September 12th, we have 2 September 12th birthdays. Dave Lewis.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And Kelly Wood.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños.
There we go. I'll let Kenneth give you it. Happy birthday, Kelly. Love you.
Happy birthday, Kelly. And then on September 14th, we have Adam Phillips. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Kenneth, we also have this show seems to be going on forever. There's so much as we keep going. We do have some prizes to give away. So do you want to, as our Rush of Fear Horror Nights person, would you like to introduce the draw, please?
Of course, yeah. Back on episode 673, the gang had the pleasure of welcoming Mark Kleinhans, also a good friend of mine, to talk about Horrors Untold, and he kindly offered some prizes to promote the book. He offered up some Pumpkin Lord stickers and a Cary, Ohio poster, and the team asked people to send in their favorite icon or HHN lore, and they have been put into a randomizer, and it is time to draw for a winner.
It is, because I think when we recorded last, I called everyone out who hadn't put an entry in because we'd only had one, and we got quite a few in after that, so I'm about to click the spinner.
Ooh.
And the winner is Jamie Selig. Hey!
Whoa!
Oh, it even did a round of applause. I like that spinner. Yeah.
Congrats, Jamie. Please drop us an email, podcast@uuopodcast.com with your address, and we'll get you prizes in the mail ASAP.
Yeah, congratulations. So that is going to wrap up the podcast. Thank you, Kenneth, Amy, and Becky. Jesus, my brain did a big fart there.
I'm forgettable. What can I say?
Of course, go and check out Rush of Fear and Big Dumb Stuff on the UUOP network, where you'll find Kenneth all the time. And as they always do, go and check out his band Pangolin as well, because we need the push to get them to be the Halloween Horror Nights official band.
Yes, we want a show in the Fear Factor stage.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Amy, for joining us. It's been nice of you to replace Tracy and Michelle.
Our pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. That was fun.
Yeah, and they're back next week, just so you know, so this won't be the last time you hear from them, because I'm kicking them the other 3 off for an extra week. But that is going to wrap up the podcast. Don't forget, we want you to rate the Freeze Ray Pops and send in your recordings, as well as sending us your how bad is Fast and Furious Supercharged jokes. And of course, as it is that time of year, and we've talked about Horror Nights for the entire episode, why not keep it going? After you've been to Halloween Horror Nights this year, please send us in your house rankings from 10 to 1 for our listener rankings for Halloween Horror Nights 34. You can send all of that to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com, and we will see you next week.
That's the end of another stellar episode of UUOP. Use the Flu Network to give you access to us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. And check out our blog at uuopodcast.com for everything else. Send your owls to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And if you want to join the Producers Club, jump down the warp pipe at uuop.supercast.com. It's alive on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else the podcasts are found. So please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you can. Dragons aren't the only way to get around. Email Michelle at portkeyvacations.com. She can take care of all aspects of your next Universal Orlando vacation. Listen to them, Children of the Night, the children of the UUOP network. Rush of Fear, Halloween Horror Nights podcast, the theme park duo for all your West Coast news and info, the Taste of Universal, Universal Orlando food podcast, and the Portkey Passport, an adult-centric Disney podcast. Make sure to subscribe and come back next week because in the end, it turns out all we needed was a little more of this.